Do you struggle with like your laners not moving when you're doing an objective? Take a look here. And today we're going to be reviewing Popstar Gwen. If you don't know, he has a certain amount of games that is questionable, and I'm a bit concerned about his or her health. However, since he played a lot of the game on Twitch, it's a lot easier to find clips, so I decided to make a VOD of him. So if you're Popstar Gwen, enjoy the free coaching session, but basically all of these mistakes a lot of people are making. So, take a look here, okay? You can see he's starting the Drake, and as he's starting the Drake, he has mid lane priority, as you can see. The Echo can move first, and he has bot lane priority. However, do you see his pings? He's not really pinging anyone in his face, hey, I need you. And in the end, what ends up happening is that their bot lane saw he was doing the Drake, but now, for some reason actually, right, if you look on the minimap, the Sylas is somehow first. So, the common mistake is that people actually don't ping people in their face, and they don't move. And by the way, just so you know, even if you ping them in their face, they might still not move sometimes. And that is because laners don't move if they haven't pushed their wave. So right now you can see he died sadly, but it wasn't too bad. But let's go back a little bit, okay? Do you see bot lane wave here? Don't expect your bot lane to move if they have not pushed their wave. If they have pushed their wave, then they will move, okay? So that's a very important thing you have to keep in mind if you're not challenger, that laners will not move unless they push the wave. So now let's take a look at a challenger example and see how it's supposed to be done. Alright, so this is a challenger example. You can see right now, I want to contest the grubbies, okay? What do challenger players usually do if they want to contest an objective and make sure the laners are moving? You will first hover a lane to secure the lane priority. That's step number one, right? Like number one, hover lane for lane priority. So guess what? If the enemy team fights, you have a chance of killing enemy laner. If they don't fight, you get the wave for free and move together. And imagine the enemy jungler is starting the objective, which is a low elo mistake. What can happen now is that we can now potentially kill their mid laner, and even if he starts the gribbies, he might take one, but we're gonna push him off after. So one crucial thing that I want you to pay attention to. Do you see right now how I'm pinging on the way towards the mid lane? And I'm pinging Pyke in his face. Yo bro, I need you to go mid lane first before you go for the objective. So right now he's like, oh hold up, okay, I'm looking. Now we're both just sitting behind. Carter should try to push the wave. If he fights, he dies. If he doesn't fight, Carter gets the wave. It's a win-win situation. So right now you can see, okay, we're ganking him, yes I went all in, he died, and now I secured the objective. And now no one of the enemy team can push me off the objective. And this is how you want to secure your laners to move, okay? So this was example 1. Let's go to example 2, which is the common mistakes of low elo versus high elo, right? And let's get to it. Alright, second example here. This is basically tempo. Understanding how important tempo is. So usually what happens in low elo is that they take an objective and are like sipping some water, but they're not really doing anything. However, in low elo, when you get a kill or objective, guess what? You scored a goal, okay? Now the enemy jungler has a chance to score a goal. What is your job as a jungler right now? Right now it's 1-0 for you if you took the grubs. You want to make sure it's 1-0, right? So what's your job? Well, guess what? Enemy has 1 turn. So now pay attention what happens. Of course, the Echo could do the Drake here. And in this situation here, Popstar Gwen is aware. Okay, now he's aware. Okay, wait, hold up. They're on objective. And now the Echo here on the minimap, you can see, he has to leave the Drake. But as a jungler, when you just took an objective, you don't want to score a goal, go back to your own goal, and sprint again right to their goal. You first want to have a mini stop, which is your camps. Usually as a jungler, if you take something and your camps are up, your main priority should be to respawn them. But right now, there's 2 things. 1, enemy jungle has tempo. 2, his camps are up. So as a jungler, you want to dictate the game and tell your laners what you want. So at the moment, as this fight is happening, it could have been maybe prevented. And I'll tell you how. And this is a thing that other people make, even high elo makes a mistake. Take a look here, okay? And look at mid lane. Do you see how enemy Ahri here pushed away faster? It's not just jungle tempo that's important, it's as well other laners tempo. And this is something that you can learn if you master your own tempo first, but don't focus on it if you're not good at their own tempo. But my point right now is that Ahri has slight tempo advantage. Because Akali was catching a wave and he's basing later. What does this mean? This means actually enemy jungle plus mid lane has a turn. So when I say they have a turn, they have the first move. And when they have the first move, your mindset should be, okay, my mindset should be communicate to my laners, be careful, don't die. Look, Darius, very smart. He's pinging, hey, he's probably on the Drake, don't die. Or be careful, you know. And now Akali's like, hold up, he's on the Drake, let me check. Such a simple ping changes so much. And because of that, Akali managed to push the echo off. Did Popstar Gwen do it? No. But regardless right now, understanding that Ahri has tempo, guess what? The jungler here could have pinged bot lane here, please, don't fight. And then she could just free farm, right? Which is not happening. So this tells me that tempo and understanding when you want to fight, when you don't want to fight, is not really a good thing. And another mistake, but it's like mistake after mistake. Do you see how he's pinging right now on the way? The Gwen pinged on the way that he's coming towards the objective. But look at him, okay? He pings on the way. But realistically seen, look at his position. He's 3-0, he's super far away. Instead of pinging on the way, which can be a bait for most people, because think from Akali perspective. Akali right now is not seeing a minimap. I'm sure you guys have realized this when you play as well. When someone pings on the way, you're like, oh, I thought he was closer actually. This is something I had as well in low elo. I had to learn the hard truth. I need to look at the minimap. But right now Akali does not look at minimap. So he might get cocky. What you want actually to happen is that this guy to not die. So pinging him one time back is better than pinging on the way. Because what do you actually want him to do? You want him to play slow and wait till you're there. Which means he has to buy time. And you ping on the way, that's gonna change maybe an aggressive mentality instead of like defensive mentality. But yeah, you can see here Akali is full sending it. He's going all in. And instead, you see here, look where he's running by the way. He's running this way. Where should he be running instead? This way. How should he have pinged the Akali? He should have pinged him, assistance, and then on the way. If you want him to run towards you, because he could easily run upwards, right? But yeah, those are a lot of small mistakes that really add up. But in the end, he didn't even want to take this fight, okay? So this is a bit about understanding tempo, how you should communicate, understanding you just want to farm, and don't want to do this type of shit. Because right now what ended up happening is that he just died. He literally took grubbies, all his camps up, he died, none of his camps are respawning, that fucking sucks. He's not fighting on his terms. So now let's take a look at a Challenger example. So right here basically, well, this is me playing, and as I take this objective, okay, you can see all my camps are up here on the minimap, okay? Or basically my top side. What is my job right now? Well, guess what? I'm fully aware that I don't wanna fight. All my camps are up. My main priority is to farm, and if I have to give the Drake, I'll give the Drake. Do you see how I'm pinging care Drake? I'm fully aware they can do the Drake, and if they go for it, so be it. Now I ping my Diana, hey, you should be careful too, because I'm not helping you no matter what. And as I'm clearing towards the bot side, right, I'm dictating what I want to do. Most people outside of Challenger don't really dictate what you want to do, but as a jungler, think about it. You're playing PvE. You're not really doing anything besides farming. You should decide which fights you want to take and which fights you don't want to take. And if you don't know that, that's a problem, right? Because then your teammates will make random plays. So you can see here, all I'm doing is simply farming. I'm taking my camps. And now, wait for the next best opportunity I have. And now, because I managed to take my camps, he took the Drake, guess what? Now I have one turn to play, right? Which means I have tempo. So if the enemy jungler was good, what should he have done? Recognize, okay, Zyra probably has free time to fight. So I should ping any laner that I think is in danger to play safe. What ends up happening is that their mid laner ult in and he died. And I can promise you here, the enemy jungler, even in Challenger, this is Challenger lobby, he did not ping mid lane to be careful. Being as consistent as possible of this is fucking difficult. Even for me for like a long period of time. If I want to do this as consistently as possible, I need to like really lock in. But the more consistent you are, the more consistent your results will be. And that's what you want to achieve in the end. If you don't do that, you will lose. So now let's go to another example. And that's example 3. Lane knowledge. So I'm gonna explain you a bit about like lane knowledge that people in non-challenger don't understand. The thing is that I actually started by playing mid lane, so I think that actually helped me a lot understand waves, how much time I have before I have to catch the wave. But if you main jungle only and you're not that good at other roles, this is something you won't get. But look right now, okay? Gwen right now took the Raptor, and the Grubbies are up. Darius literally just pushed in top lane wave, and he doesn't have to be top lane for quite a while, right? So you should understand as a jungler that, okay, if my laners push out the wave, they literally have like 10 to 15 seconds to leash me. And if they leash me, I'll have tempo, and by me having tempo, you clear your camps faster, you can help your bot lane faster, you can maybe match him on a Drake. There's so many benefits to it. But do you see here how like this Darius is pinging him to all in? But guess what? Gwen right now should be pinging Darius, hey, leash me, help me. Because if you help me, I do the objective a lot faster. And if you as a jungler do the objective faster, what are you doing? You have basically more tempo. And what does more tempo give you? More gold, more gank time, better map efficiency, right? So let's say if mid or bot is fighting, you happen to be there like 10 seconds faster. And that 10 seconds might get you a kill. It's very crucial. But right now, because he's not pinging help, and by the way, Darius right now is not losing any farm, he's just standing on top lane, sitting around, instead of like just queuing this, alt-tag Wing, like just leashing a bit, you know? That would be very, very helpful. And he, like Darius could like legit move 1 or 2 minions and it's completely fine. Because in my opinion, if he loses 1 minion to help the Gwen do a lot of grubbies, it's so much more worth. But simply because he's not communicating, hey, leash me and help me, he's losing a lot of tempo here. And you know what's funny? By him losing his tempo here, okay, look what happened. This is the play you saw previously. If he got a leash, Gwen could legit be probably around here. But guess what? He did not get the leash, so he couldn't even be around. Like, Gwen could literally be right now, literally, okay? So do you see how, like, as a jungler, if you don't understand how long laners have, you kind of like lose tempo. And of course, you need to first understand I need help, and how if it's good or bad for laner. It's something as low elo people don't understand. As you get higher elo, you understand this. People in challenger fully understand, okay, you know, you can help me, bro. Your wave is good. So now let's take a look at a challenger example. This is a challenger example, and take a look here, okay? Do you see how like I see this lane state? What does it tell me? This guy hard stuck, my Yasuo can leash me after he pushes the wave, okay? So look what I'm doing. I'm pinging on the way to the Drake. This is what low elo people do. But then I add something on top. I would ping my laners in their face, like, hey bro, I need you to come to me, okay? So do you see how I'm pinging my mid laner in his face? Just move. Because now I know that he can just help me. So there, he decided to go back mid lane, okay? Because he's like, well, you probably don't need me. Which is fine in this case. As long as he can move first, it's gonna be completely fine. Because if there's any fight, and he'll be there, I can play slow, I would win the fight, right? And right now, I as well pinged my bot lane, of course, in her face. But do you see how in this situation, this wave isn't fully pushed out? And just so you know, in low elo, this is challenger elo, by the way. But in low elo, because you have to as well adjust depending on what elo. In challenger grandmaster, if this wave is slow pushing towards my laners, they're not gonna lose as much farm. If this wave is slow pushing towards the enemy team, which means that his minions will be dying fast, that means Kai'Sa is losing farm, I can promise you, even in challenger, they will not come because they're losing farm. Usually, they want to push out the wave so they don't lose too much farm. But in this situation, the wave is bouncing towards him, I'm starting the Drake, so he's like, why not? Very crucial what I just told you, by the way, about waves. Because junglers think about themselves, and laners think about themselves. Everyone's greedy. So if you understand how laners' waves work, it's, trust me, your life's a lot easier. Like, that's the main reason as well my mid and late game course is for every role, because in mid and late game, there's no towers. They can literally just go from base towards mid lane. You need to understand how laners are supposed to move, how they should communicate. And if you don't understand that, mid game is kinda cooked. So that's why even in early game, you need to understand how waves work. But yeah, do you see basically how I'm pinging and communicating to my laners, hey, I need you for XYZ? And that's very crucial. Because in the end, you need to understand how laners work, and that will help you secure objectives. So now let's take a look at the next example. In this example here, we can clearly see that top lane is losing very hard, okay? He's 1 HP, this guy's half HP, and there's a wave pushing towards him, okay? Let's just see what happens in the end. He goes for a gank when his Garen is 1 HP, and technically, if you look at it, if the Aatrox would fight even in this wave here, Gwen would have to tank all these minions. Understanding that if a laner is losing, and if you're basically one level down as a jungler, most of the times you actually don't win 1v1. As crazy as it sounds. You can see it was not even close. And yes, Gwen is not that OP early game, but you can see that couldn't fight, you know? So what should you have done instead when a lane is losing like this? Well, I'll tell a secret. Right now, if a lane is losing, if you understand laners, you should know that Aatrox is gonna push no matter what, okay? And you should understand that if he's gonna push no matter what, if you just take your golems as Gwen, and then Aatrox takes this wave, right? Guess what's gonna happen? Aatrox is gonna try to dive him, right? So, instead of looking for a gank here, Garen should be completely fine, dropping some minions, because the wave is coming towards him anyway, and Aatrox is probably gonna hard push to try to dive him. You could do the golems, which is, guess what? More gold. After that, you finish the camp. You wanna stay around a little bit, and see if Aatrox is trying to dive your Garen. If that's the case, guess what? You collect an easy free kill, and Garen could even stand here, bait Aatrox fully in, and then he can't even hit you guys, because he's in a tower, you know? That's what he should have done. But instead, he decided to help a losing laner, not understanding that his laner could play safe, or maybe he thought he could kill him. That's champion mastery. That's mistaking how strong you are, and that is something you just have to practice, right? But now, let's take a look at the challenger example, what they do instead. Alright, so right here in this example, okay? You can see that these guys obviously are trying to, you know, dive them. Lee Sin here, guess what? He's covering dive, and he's waiting for them to base, because as a jungler, you don't really want to initiate a play, especially if a lane is losing. You just want to wait for a better opportunity next time, and make sure that they're just chilling, right? Look. If it's not in there, if not there, you can look, okay? If you think you can win. But you can see here, Lee Sin is literally just standing behind, making sure they can farm. He's not even going in. He's like, well, I can't get a kill either way. This guy was a rank 1 Kirei jungler for a very long time, by the way. And now he's putting a ward and he's just basing. Because, of course, as a jungler, you can't waste infinite time covering here, right? But yeah, you can see here that, like, junglers don't look for a gank. They literally just have a defensive mindset, and they just want the laners to base, and nothing else. And look here, okay? Lee Sin had a choice, actually, to gank bot lane. But he didn't know where the enemy Sinza was. So if Sinza was here, he gets counter ganked, it's cooked. So only look for these plays if you know you can kill them, for sure. And if not, just cover them, you know? That's how you want to deal with losing lanes. And that's like a low elo versus high elo common mistake. And now let's go to another example. Alright, in this example here, let's take a look. So Gwen is moving here towards the bot side, and what ends up happening is that the Caitlyn died. And the Pyke died. If you do some quick maths, and if you do some counting, it's 1, 2, 3. I want you to pause the video and think what's gonna happen if Gwen is gonna go for the Kai'Sa. Pause the video for a bit and think about it. I hope you paused, if not. I hope the answer was obvious, but this guy and this guy is for sure gonna kill him. As a jungler, do you think it's worth trading 1 for 1 when your camps are up? Probably not. This is a common mistake in low elo where, like, you should value your life and you shouldn't want to trade 1 for 1. A 1 for 1 trade is great if you're, like, really hard losing and have a shutdown. But in this case, I would probably argue that Gwen is the main carry, and him losing tempo, which is dying, and then having to take his camp, he won't be able to help his 3 losing laners. Instead, what Gwen could have done is recognize, okay, fuck, it's kind of cooked. And he could literally just maybe clear the pink ward, or maybe just even walk back and just press base, clear top the bot, get tempo, and then try to kill them the next time. Because what's going to end up happening is that the enemy bot lane, they're going to play like this. So the enemy bot lane is going to literally play like this the whole game. They're going to perma push, and you as a jungler, let's say, actually it's from this side, right? Yeah. Let's say you're the jungler, okay? You decide the base here, and as you can see in this example here as well, the Needly is probably going to take the crab after this, right? You can see the crab is up. So very likely, what's going to happen is that his bot lane dies, he's going to take the crab. So if you actually go for a base here, and Needly's taking the crab here, unless you have slight tempo over him, and you're 1 step ahead, and their bot lane plays like this, guess what? You can now take your wolves, just go like this, boom, you kill their bot lane. That's what you want to achieve, because then, you know, guess what? 3 kills without having to die. And you basically take your camps faster as well. But instead, now what ends up happening is that he trades 1 for 1. And he's not respawning his camps, which he could have done, which is more golden XP. And he could have, like, gotten a kill without dying. That's a common little mistake. Regarding a challenger example, it's very simple. Just don't trade 1 for 3, you know? Or like 1 for 1, I mean. Especially if you're the main carry as a jungler. So now let's go to the last example, and the most important example, by the way. This is like, even challenger players make this mistake, okay? Alright, the most important example. And I'm sure that a lot of you guys struggle with this. Let's take a look what happens here. He's trying to kill the Aatrox. He failed killing the Aatrox. And now he's tilted. Signals enemy's vision here. Not moving his screen. He's probably shouting, "Ah!" And now he's like checking Garen CS. And after checking Garen CS, he's like, top lane gap. My top lane is so boosted, man. Why is this? Oh, now he died again. Oh my god, man. He's so bad. Why did you die again, man? Why? Why are you so bad? Like, how can I focus? And then he's like just frustrated. He's thinking to himself, man, this game is difficult. He's looking at top lane. I have no idea why he's looking top lane, right? Because, you know, top lane is technically dead. He can't do anything. And then, when he finally recovered his mental, guess what's gonna happen? Oh shit! Lee Sin's bot lane. I completely forgot. So now the only lane that's winning is dying. So what was the mistake here? It's simple. It's not simple, but the mistake here is like, you have to learn how to be frustrated, and that's fine, but learn to move on. If you stay too long frustrated, you're not moving towards your goal. You're moving away from your goal. Because you're not gonna jungle track, you're not gonna make a game plan, you're not gonna tell your teammates what to do. That is gonna move you away from your goal, which is hopefully climbing, and you don't want that. If you wanna move towards your goal, you have to be like, oh my god, man, this guy's so boosted. But whatever, okay, let's focus. Where's the enemy jungle? What do I wanna play for? Like, you know, think about those things instead of being frustrated. And it's not easy. This is something you have to train. Even I struggle with it. Take a look at this. Look at this fight, okay? This fight that I'm gonna take here is gonna be very interesting. I basically want to fight here. I know my Yasuo's ultimate. And now, I press my ultimate here, airborne. I have Shen ultimate too, okay? Then, I'm like, what the fuck? Then Yasuo here could easily EQ over the wall. He's like, I get a Shen ultimate. Which I didn't anticipate. And now we're getting cooked. And now I'm gonna show you my live reaction. This is my live reaction, right? And now we get completely cooked. Okay, now as I'm yapping, you can see my face. I'm like yada yada yada. I'm like blah 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 blah. Guess what? Here, I'm looking at the chat. Look at the chat. Instead of me thinking about, but I just saying, just mute the chat. Even though I wrote it's okay, we can win, I've muted everyone's chat. I should have prevented this situation happening. One big tip, you can do this. /mute all, /mute chat all. I think it's something like this. Correct me if I'm wrong. This way you can mute the chat, but keep the pings. Something like that. You can do that if you want to keep pings on. But now what ends up happening is, okay, I was obviously distracted. And because I was distracted, right? Guess what happened in the end? You see Silos in bot lane? Now my bot lane dies. I did not ping this. And now my bot lane died and I got double killed. Not being tilted, focusing on the next thing, doing that consistently every single time, that is fucking difficult. But if you manage to do this, then guess what? You're gonna climb. Trust me on that one. And that's basically the end of the video. There's a lot more things, but hey man, I can't explain everything. But I hope you guys liked the video. And if you made it towards the end, I would appreciate one small thing. Take a look at this. From what I've seen on my YouTube analytics, 70% did not subscribe, guys. You see the tear in my eye. I mean, I would like to get 100k subs this year if possible, but that's not possible without the support of you boys. And if you actually enjoy my content, I would really appreciate if you sub to the channel. I wish you all a nice, wonderful day, man. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Have a good one. Peace. Enjoy the grind.